So what are web services? Web service we can define in certain ways. It is a client-server application or application component for a communication. So you can call it as a client-server application or an application component for a communication. So the method of this communication between two devices over a network, you can also say that it is a method of communication between two devices over a network. You can also say it is as a software system for interoperable machine-to-machine communication. So interoperable, this is machine 1, this is machine 2, you need to talk, you need to communicate, and you need to be interoperable also. So it is a software system. Or you can say it is a collection of standards or protocols for exchanging information between two devices or application. So let's understand it by a figure. Now, these are different technologies. You can talk to Java from Java. What about you want to talk from Java to PHP, Java to .NET? This is by Oracle. This is by Microsoft. How to talk? Web services gives you that possibility, interoperability. So you saw in the figure, Java, .NET and PHP application can communicate with other applications through web services on the network. For instance, Java application can interact with Java, .NET and PHP application. So a web service is a language-independent way of communication. There are various types of web services. Two types of web services: SOAP-based services and RESTful web services. SOAP-based or SOAP web services or RESTful web services. SOAP web services. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. So it is a XML-based protocol for accessing web services. SOAP is an XML-based protocol to access the web services. So SOAP is again a W3C, World Wide Web Consortium recommendation for communication between two applications. And SOAP is again an XML-based protocol. Therefore, it is platform independent, language independent, and by using SOAP, you'll be able to interact with other programming language applications. What are the advantages of this SOAP web services? First is your security. So SOAP defines its own security known as WS security. It is language and platform independent. That is, SOAP web services can be written in any programming language and it can be executed in any platform. But disadvantage of SOAP web services: it is slow. SOAP, since it uses XML format that must be parsed to be read, so it defines many standards that must be followed while developing a SOAP applications. It is slow and consumes more bandwidth and the resource. It has a dependency on wsdl. So SOAP uses this web services definition language, that is wsdl, and do not have any other mechanism to discover these services, that is UDDI. Then we come to the second part, RESTful web services. REST stands for representational, this RE, representational state transfer. A REST is an architectural style, not a protocol. Again, REST is an architectural style, not a protocol. So the advantage of this RESTful web services are, it is fast. RESTful web services are fast because there is no strict specification like SOAP. It consumes less bandwidth and resource. It is language and platform independent. So RESTful web services can be written in any programming language and can be executed in any platform. It can use SOAP. So RESTful web services can use SOAP web services as the implementation, and it permits different data format. So RESTful web services permit different data format like plain text, HTML, XML, and JSON. So let's see the difference again. SOAP is a protocol, REST is an architecture style. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. REST stands for Representational State Transfer. SOAP cannot use REST because it is a protocol, while REST can use SOAP web services because it is a concept, it is an architectural style, and it can use any protocol like HTTP, SOAP, etc. SOAP uses services interfaces to expose the business logic, while REST uses URI, Universal Resource Indicator, to expose business logic. SOAP defines standards to be strictly followed. REST do not define too much standards like SOAP, but it has certain guidelines. SOAP defines standards to be strictly followed. REST do not define too much standards like SOAP. So SOAP requires more bandwidth than resource. REST requires less bandwidth than resource. SOAP defines its own security. RESTful web services inherit security mechanism from the underlying transport protocol or transport layer. SOAP permits XML data formats only. REST permits different data formats like plain text, HTML, XML, JSON. SOAP is less preferred than REST. REST is more preferred than SOAP. This was about web services. Thank you so much.